Hey guys, Kyle, the Death Knight of Anime here. I'm bringing you guys something a little different this time. It's not an anime review or anything, or a manga review, or well, I guess it is technically like an anime. It's basically a discussion video, I guess. And let's talk. And what I want to talk about, let's go ahead and talk some Gintama because, yeah, I finally like officially I basically caught up after so long. I finally ended up I finally caught up to I finally caught up to I finally got up to it was the Gintama anime, and for anyone asking as to what took me so long, because I know there are people who in the comment section who might ask me that, um, it was it was one of those times where after I had even heard the news that Gintama's anime was going to be adapting it was the Silver Soul arc, I knew. I knew from the very moment that stuff was going to be adapted that if I went ahead and I watched it weekly, I knew I would be clamoring each week. I knew I'd be clamoring each week basically in order to see more. Like it would just freaking frustrate me if I ended up watching this material weekly. So in that sense, I'm actually really glad that I ended up pretty much binge watching all this material because yeah, it was honestly one hell of a ride, and the thing about me even watching this particular and the thing about this whole overturn of me returning to pretty much watching the Gintama anime or the Silver Soul arc anyway, is that even though I'm aware that the Silver Soul arc is one of the more heavy-handed arcs in the Gintama series, even knowing that going in, it's still watching this arc, it reminded me of all of what makes Gintama such a diverse series to begin with. Like with Gintama, you pretty much get three things most of the time in succession. You pretty much get you pretty much end up getting a lot of great comedy, a lot of epic action that honestly just that honestly makes you just jump in your seat or jump off the freaking walls, and three, you pretty much end up getting shot with an arrow of feels. Like that was from that was the three things I felt pretty much of watching, of coming back and watching, the Silver Soul arc. That was what I got, and I think it is the fact that Gintama can actually balance these three things so well is what makes it pretty much one of the more I guess not even unique shonen, but just unique anime in general. It's just a very unique series, I think, and yeah, I think I can do nothing but honestly respect a series that can actually manage to pretty much that can balance all these things at one time. It's actually kind of amazing a lot of the time for me. I know I couldn't do that, so it's amazing that Gintama and even on the manga side that even the mangaka it'd be Sriracha can even do that. Um, but yeah. Now, now having said that, on the side of the manga, there is a little news I want to talk about with the manga, and I'm a month old in talking about this news, but I figured I'd at least throw in a little bit of my 2 cents on it, which is that for those one or two people who don't know, pretty much Gintama, it has pretty much Gintama manga isn't ending. It's switching over from Weekly Shonen Jump in order to jump Giga, and a lot of people who've seen talk about this on the internet are really excited that we're getting more Gintama, and while I'm glad we're getting more Gintama too, um, it's one of those things where I think this is a little bit more of a different situation than actually getting more Gintama, which that I think the reason, at least like when I discovered this article on Anime News Network, uh, just from reading it and reading the tone that of what we see from pretty much from basically Sriracha and what Sriracha says in that article, it almost gives off the vibe that the reason as to why Sriracha is even making this jump with Gintama, this crossover with Gintama over to Jump Giga, is that with Weekly Shonen Jump, it seems like they weren't giving him the proper amount of space the proper amount of creative space he needed in order to end the series on his own terms, basically. And I think with Jump Giga, I think he actually has a lot more room to do that. Like with, he actually has a lot more room to do that. So I think essentially what I'm saying here is that if it's moving more to Jump Giga, I think what we're gonna end up getting is basically one giant epilogue, basically. Like we're still gonna get like weekly chapters, but all these weekly chapters, but I think we're still gonna get like chapters, but all these chapters are gonna be building up to pretty much are gonna be building up to an epilogue, and him just kind of, and Sorachi working towards pretty much giving pretty much a proper conclusion to pretty much all of these characters that he's spent pretty much all of this time pretty much working on and developing. So yeah, it's really one of those things where if we are getting more Gintama, it's all stuff that's going to be working towards pretty much the end of this series. And even though a lot of people have said that, have pointed out that Sorachi is like a comedian, and he openly trolls us a lot of the times. Like I said, just from his tone in this article, which I'll link down below. Yeah, I really get the feeling that even Sorachi, even despite how much of a troll and a comedian he is, I think even he's aware that the series itself is definitely losing a little bit of staying power. Like I think, especially after, like I said, having recently watched having finished the Silver Soul arc, I can definitely say that the series the series definitely feels like it really feels like there isn't much in order to really go from here. So yeah, I think in a lot of ways I think pretty much I think we can say that's Sorachi is definitely aware of this too. So yeah, I think in terms of getting more Gintama, I think it's really just all going to be building up pretty much toward the end of the series. But yeah, I'd really like to know what you guys think of this. Is it, and what was your guys' experience of watching the Silver Soul arc in the anime, and what do you guys think of the Gintama switch over to pretty much over to Jump Giga? Do you think like I do that it's actually just working towards a conclusion of the series, or do you think we are legitimately getting more Gintama? Just let me know down in the comments below. And if you like the video, just like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, AnyList, or Crunchyroll. Death Knight of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.